They called him the Diesel.
Crank up that diesel. Let's go.
He leaned across the table and he goes, "You need to get me back there. I'll make you famous."
And to Riggins, good hold. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20. He's gone. He's gone.
It's Riggo the Diesel.
Well, there you are, and thank you for joining us here on Riggo the Diesel. I am John Riggins, and Larry Michael, the voice of the Washington Redskins, is joining me. A lot of things going on. Maybe snow in Buffalo this weekend. I'm looking very forward to that, Larry. But before I jump into that,
You're not going.
I have to tell you a little. What was that?
You're not going to Buffalo. But you're looking forward to
No,
seeing
but I
it.
like to see it snow so I can watch other people play in it. I never wanted to play in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I had to too often. Nothing like some of these blizzards that you see. I had a little something happen to me yesterday, Larry, that I have to get this out and talk. I got a good friend of mine gave me a recommendation for a place to go get a massage. My neck's really been, it's all cranky and stuff. So I decided to go and take their advice. And my wife kind of warned me against it, said, well, the friend that gave you this advice is kind of one of those guys that probably go to one of those parlors, like, you know, the guy that owns the New England Patriots.
no.
Would go. Yeah, well.
I want to hear this story.
Yeah, well, so I'm going, nah, I don't think so.
What was it, T-Cat?
I don't want to. I
T-Cat tell you where to go?
I don't want to like roll over on anybody. I'm not under arrest, am I?
No.
If I am, okay, I'll spill my guts. But anyway, so I go in, no big deal, and go back, get ready. You know, of course, when you get a massage, you got to get all the way out, right?
You have
Everything.
to. You have to. You don't have to take all your.
Well,
clothes
no,
off.
but I mean, when you leave your underwear on, I don't know how's the guy gonna, and you got to take most. Generally, look it up, Larry. They'll say, if you want a real massage, you got to be nude.
If you want
and they put the sheet over you, and they, fold it this way, that way, so that you're never really exposed.
Okay.
All right, so everything's going great. The guy's rubbing my upper back, he's working the neck, and I'm really digging this. And then all of a sudden, now he starts going further down south.
Is it a guy?
That's what I wanted to tell you. That actually was the money shot right there.
Oh, no, don't put it that way.
Yeah, well. Here's where this ends up anyway. So he's rubbing down there, and, he's kind of working the buttocks in getting closer and closer to where they join, right?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So I even felt like maybe there was a little crease, a little glancing blow that might have slid over the side there, and I'm going, okay. And I'm thinking, well, it's probably just an accident. So then I flip over on the other side, right? So now he's going to rub your chest, and everything's going fine, pretty good, but I'm kind of back in my mind, I'm going, I don't know. I mean, what do you do here? Because you're supposed to be relaxed, though. You're supposed to be thinking nothing.
And you're all tensed up. You're on guard.
My mind was going between enjoying that and going, where's he going with this?
Now, wait a minute. Did you say you were enjoying it?
Well, the rub part, yeah, that's where you had to start checking yourself. Anyway, I'm on my back. Exactly. I'm going, hey, I got an appointment this afternoon. I don't. But listen, so I flip over. The ultimate is I flip over. Next thing you know, same thing in that same midsection area. A lot of working the pubic bone in that area. And then I feel like I'm kind of like I'm exposed here. The sheet isn't on me, if you know what I'm saying. So I have to I reach down and put the sheet back over me. And I'm thinking that's some kind of a signal. In other words, I'm thinking, am I picking up on, is he and then he's whispering in my ear, 90 minutes? 90 minutes? Like I want to go extra overtime. I mean,
wow.
I was trying to go, is he sending me signals? Is this like I'm in one of those Russian baths or something?
Do you think maybe there was a camera there?
Or where you go to an airport, where you go to an airport and you sit in a stall and you move your feet a certain way, and the next thing, somebody knocks on.
I don't know. Wow. So
what do you do, Larry? Where you're in that place where, maybe it's just the way he does business, the way he does it, and it's no big deal, or is it really he's sending me signals, and you got to say, hey, listen, I don't go for that stuff. Okay, I don't know. It was just one of those weird
John,
moments.
First of all, my initial reaction is shock and horror.
Thank you.
Okay, horror, complete horror. Now, did he know it was John Riggins he was touching?
No way.
Didn't know it was John Riggins.
No.
Did you when you went
I had a disguise on.
when you went in there?
'Cause he obviously would have.
When you went in there, did you exchange?
I'm big in China. But.
Did you exchange any kind of pleasantries with him as you came in that maybe he got the wrong idea when you said, "Hey man, how you doing?" And maybe he said, "Whoa, he wants to really know how I'm doing here."
He doesn't speak Mandarin like I do, so I couldn't communicate with him.
You could communicate with him. So I guess I
started speaking Mandarin. He had nothing, so I said, well,
I guess the question is, what was the ending?
It was not a happy ending, thank God, if that's where you were going with it. There's the other part of it. Thank God I'm an old man, though, because the way he was rubbing me in the front and, flopping all around and stuff, I'm starting to think, what if the tadpole turns into a frog?
Didn't do much for you, though, did it?
No. I mean, it's
thank goodness, man. I tell you what,
it's not a good place to be.
You would not have brought this up if it didn't have this type of ending. If it had a different type of ending, you would have come in here talking about the Redskins right off the top. The rundown says Dwayne Haskins and trade deadline. So this really has been on your mind the last day or so.
If it had been
Snow in Buffalo.
Hey, listen, if it had a different ending, I'd be in a hospital right now. I'd be going, I have to check myself
what about this?
in.
Was the what kind of oil did he use on you, John?
I have no idea. And it wasn't aromatic. I know that.
Was it scented? Was it a scented oil?
No, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't aromatic.
No scent to it. Did he have, was there any kind of like candles burning in the room when you came
candles.
in there?
No, it was just straight hardcore. No, let's get to it.
It was hardcore?
Yeah.
Any kind of
there was no
soft
BSing
music?
around here. This guy
Soft
wanted to go to
music?
work.
Did he offer you a drink?
No, but we both smoked a cigarette after.
Oh, man.
Okay.
And you do
I
this?
had to tell you that.
Well, you told me this, but do you realize who's sitting in the studio who heard this, who's also in horror? It's Joe Jacoby. He's coming
here.
on the show later.
Yes.
And you actually told this story in front of Jake, who, you guys go a long way back, and I'm sure Jake is over there just...
Jake knows that this is just all in a day's work when you're John Riggins. It's like, right, Jake? It's like no big deal.
Guess that is. I don't see that happening to Jake. I don't see Jake going into a massage parlor and some guy...
First of all, what did Jake say?
He's working on getting the phone number.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give it to you later, but if you think about it, if Jake went into the same place, they probably needed 2, maybe 3 masseuses to work on Jake.
Yeah, probably.
There's a little difference.
A large man.
Yeah, that's a big
large
guy.
Man, but, I know that whenever I go to get a massage, they ask me, usually, and I don't get massages that often, John, but they usually ask you if you wanted a woman or a man to give you the massage. And so for me, I wouldn't, I just got to be a woman for me.
Well, that would make
I'm
sense.
sorry. It has to be a woman. Even
I didn't
when
have a choice.
When they start putting them
But then when I
elbows to
saw
you.
the woman they had in mind afterwards,
Well,
I made the right deal by going with the guy. I'm going, that was a little scary.
Well, that's a heck of a first segment, I got to tell you right now. What episode
I feel
is this?
better, by the way.
Is this episode 50?
Yeah, it is.
It is episode 50, a milestone episode. And you feel better?
I feel much
Do you
better.
feel better than after the massage?
Yeah, as soon as we get done, I'm going to go lay down. It'll be fine.
All right. Now that we've got that on the record, helping people improve their lives is what should drive business. That's the belief at Koch Industries, which employs more than 65,000 people across America. The team at Koch works together to meet the world's changing needs in transportation, medical care, water filtration, household goods, energy-efficient building products, and everyday technologies, all while consuming fewer resources. See the innovations firsthand at kochindustries.com.
All right, everybody. 1-833-RIGGO44. What's that number? That's the number to O'Connor Plumbing. If you have any plumbing needs, I sincerely tell you, give them a call. They're the people come out, they do the job right the first time. They're not going to overcharge you. They're not going to upsell you to anything that you don't need. And the interesting thing about O'Connor Plumbing now, they finally, they're catering to the homeowner because they understand. You very well may have a job 9 to 5. You're not there all the time. You can't let somebody in if you're not at home. Well, guess what? They now have their hours are 8 to 8, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Friday. No overcharge, no overtime. You do not have to pay any overtime through the weekend. And on Saturdays, 8 to 4:30 p.m., same thing. No overtime charges from O'Connor Plumbing. They're great people. They'll do the job, like I said. They'll do it right. They'll make you happy. They'll satisfy the customer. No question about that. 1-833-RIGGLE44. Give them a try. See what you think.
And join the Redskins and youth entrepreneurs during Global Entrepreneurship Week as former MVP kicker Mark Mosley shares his entrepreneurial journey at 1 Million Cups on Thursday, November 20th at the George Washington University School of Business Marvin Center. From football to Five Guys, won't want to miss hearing Mr. Automatic's story and why he's so excited to support youth entrepreneurs in expanding their unique and transformative educational programs in schools across the D.C. metro area. To learn more about bringing youth entrepreneurs engaging hands-on learning to your classroom now, visit gety-e.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand back and watch the Phoenix rise from the ashes.
Stand back. It's Riggo the Diesel.
Was it Mosley who told you to go to that masseuse guy?
No, but it could have been.
It just hit me. Mosley might have done it, and you don't want to tell on it. You don't want to. You don't want to bring that out here, do you?
I'm not going to say. I'm going to protect the innocent. I'm still trying to figure out what happened yesterday, Larry. Am I a victim or I just don't know.
No,
I'm totally confused.
Sounds
but that's not hard to do.
Sounds like you liked it.
By the way, I'm starting to get a complex with watch the Phoenix rise from the ashes. It's just too dramatic. Anyway, the Phoenix and the ashes. I don't know if there's going to be a Phoenix this year, but who knows? Maybe they'll rise from the snowflakes. Okay, because we're hoping in Buffalo there'll be snowflakes. I know you've got a short fuse here. You may actually implode when I answer this question: self-combustion or internal combustion, whatever kind it is.
Yes.
But I'm confused and I listened to Bill Callahan's press conference yesterday as he talked about the quarterback position and Case Keenum won it in training camp, and that Dwayne Haskins is not ready to play yet, and yet Colt McCoy was the guy to start with, but he got injured. Now he's healthy, and everybody. When I say everybody, I think most fans. Obviously, what do they say when you start listening to the fans, you'll be sitting with them, and that the old saying goes, right. Something like that. But a lot of fans want to see, and in a season where it's 1-7, and this being show business and all, kind of a little bit where people are paying as entertainment, people pay to see something, they need to be entertained. My thinking is nobody wants to say anything, and I can get Bill Callahan for not saying that, by saying necessarily who's going to do what, because he's kind of left it open, hadn't he, where it's possible you could see Haskins, a little bit of mystery surrounding it. But I got to believe that, particularly when the team comes back here for the home fans, I got to believe they want to see what the number one, draft choice is going to, what he looks like now, let him develop or whatever. And then I just did the segment I do with Clinton a while ago. And I thought he had a great idea. He's talking about run the football, that there's got to be a way that he could certainly be a guy back there. It's almost as if you wouldn't have to look at it that way, but if he's limited in what he can do, you got number 26. My God, give him the ball. And that's what Callahan wants to do anyway. So I'm just thinking, I think I speak for the fans and say I think it needs to be sooner rather than later when Haskins gets a chance to play.
Well, Clinton Portis has been a big proponent of not seeing him play. He's been talking about that for a while now. But look, go back to the way this thing is unfolded. I think I can
clarify it a little bit.
I can clarify it in my own mind, and I won't implode. You go back to training camp when you heard it was a 3-horse race. You had Colt McCoy. Well, you had a different head coach, too, but you had Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, who'd just been brought in. Case Keenum was signed before the draft. They didn't know they were going to be able to get Dwayne Haskins. Maybe they thought they could. But then you throw Dwayne in as a first-round pick, who is the future quarterback of the team. I think that they thought they're going to go through training camp. You're going to see a good competition, and these two guys, the two veterans, are going to battle for that starting job, and Dwayne is going to have no pressure on him at all to have to play this year, because not only do you have the starter, you have the veteran number 2, and you have a pure developmental year for Dwayne Haskins. Well, Colt McCoy got hurt, so that throws that out the window. And then Case Keenum has played inconsistently. He's played good at times. I really like Case. He's a super tough guy. He's also been banged up a little bit, and the team is 1-7. So now you're saying, well, why not play him? Most of the people I hear say, well, why not play him? Why not see what you got? Well, ultimately, he's your starting quarterback. Sooner or later, you're going to see him in there. And this week, especially this week, I'll implode when I watch these media press conferences, and nobody is listening. Case Keenum is in concussion protocol. There's no guarantee he's going to get cleared. Maybe he'll get cleared, but still, I've seen this before here for many, many different quarterbacks. Guy's not ready. Goes to Friday. It's a private doctor. It's not even a team doctor that's going to give him the green light. So, who's coming in here early every day? Dwayne Haskins Jr. Saw him come in the building this morning about 7 o'clock. I get here really early, as you know, to get set for the show, and here he's coming in. You know what? This could be the week. It could be because out of necessity. It could be maybe they feel, okay, why not give him a shot? Now, Buffalo's got a strong defense. He's going to have to see every kind of defense there is. Yep. So you might as well put him against a strong defense. But as Bill Callahan has said, our starting quarterback has been Case Keenum, and if he is healthy, he'll be the starter. I believe that's the mindset for the rest of the year. But plans change.
Yeah, I would say that, and I'm following everything you said. Obviously, you start out the season, you never know what can happen. I mean, we sat here and talked about how strong we thought the defense would be, and maybe they would be, that this team would be in a situation to win games because of the defense, even though maybe the offense wasn't there because we had question marks about the wide receivers, and you can go on and on. But clearly, it's almost like that train is pulling out of the station, or I don't want to say it's pulled out, but at 1-7. I don't know. I think the wheels are starting to roll on the season leaving. And so I look at it from, Dwayne Haskins in college didn't get the most experience, I don't think, as far as playing in games. And it would only behoove you to see exactly what you're dealing with. And, like I said, to work out a game plan that he's capable without putting too much on his plate, that he feels comfortable. If you do that, and like I go back to CP and what he said, that it makes sense. Hand the ball off to number 26, give him 25, 30 carries a game, set up some play action stuff, and dumb things down or whatever you want to call it, to where, I don't mean dumb it down, it's just where you make it less complex, where he doesn't have a lot of things that he has to look at. And I think that, that all of a sudden, what I'm feeling is this. The fans, I think that, you see it, we go out there to the park on Sundays, and there's not, there's more people of the opposite color, or as many almost, it seems like, of your opponents there, that we got to throw something to the fans. And I don't know whether you want to say you got to throw somebody to the Wolves, but I think that, that number 7 is that guy.
You put it a certain way. I will say this. You can't confuse lack of football IQ with lack of experience.
Yeah, exactly.
This kid is smart. This kid is very sharp kid. Now, he hadn't played much, said it yourself. I mean, Case Keenum is, how many games has he played? I mean, Dwayne played 1 year as a starter at Ohio State. That's it.
Yeah,
and the 2 times we've seen him this year, he's gone in the game on the road with the team trailing by 2 scores. Hadn't been an easy situation. So
well, but there's no pressure in that situation either, I don't think. You're not looking at him to, you're looking to say, give him some, I would think, give him some experience.
I disagree. See, if it's Colt McCoy coming off the bench at halftime down, he's going to thrive. A veteran quarterback coming in, he's going to sling it. This kid's got a lot of pressure on him. Not that he shouldn't. He's a first-round pick, but he hasn't seen much. And so you come in behind, and you're pretty much, there's no running game if you're coming in 2 scores down.
Probably not, no.
He's going to be attacked. And, again, he hasn't looked smooth. I think that's the thing. But you can only solve for that is experience. So, again, patience, I guess, is a virtue. He's got patience, but sooner or later in the NFL, it's wins and losses, and there is no patience. So he's got to get in there. Maybe this is the week. I don't think it's a difference if it's snowing, raining, sleeting, Buffalo, Atlanta, anybody. And hey, you're right. How about a conservative game plan? Run the ball, screen passes, basic throws, nothing elaborate. I don't see why you wouldn't try that. But if the plan has been to start Case Keenum, he's the starter.
Yeah.
But again, plans change. We'll see.
The only thing I will add, or just another thing, is for me, and the way I look at it is based on what you just said, experience. That's the one thing that Dwayne Haskins doesn't have. Is don't you start even jeopardizing the future. So if in other words, now you're going to wait till next year where he has to develop, and it just puts you. To me, that becomes
A lot of
little
logic
bit
to
of
what you're saying. A lot of
that
logic.
becomes a problem for a guy that
very
doesn't have any
logical.
experience. It's like, which way are we going to go with this? Anyway, let's take a break and bring
You know
my
what?
good friend.
You got Joe Jacoby, folks. Stand by. But you know what, John? You look extremely relaxed today.
Well, there's a reason
Extremely
for
relaxed.
that. But on the inside, Larry, just like a knot. It's still like a knot.
All right, folks, stand by. The great Joe Jacoby coming up. But first, a couple of reminders. One of my favorite things to do is play games from the Virginia Lottery and listen to John's stories. They've just introduced a new game. It's called the Print and Play Rolling Jackpot, a Virginia-only instant win game. Starting jackpot of $50,000. $2 ticket can win 20% of the jackpot. $5 ticket can win 50% of the jackpot. And a $10 ticket wins 100% of the jackpot. For each price point, the odds of winning the top prize, 1 in 240,000. Look for it at your favorite Virginia Lottery retailer. Also, bring your team to cheer on our team. Plan your next company outing, gathering of family and friends, holiday or birthday party with the Washington Redskins. Visit redskins.com/group tickets or call or text 301-276-6033. That's 6033 for more info on group ticket benefits.
Riggins. He's going to go all the way, unless Blackwood can catch him, and he can't.
They left the scoreboard up. I remember seeing Redskins 27, Dolphins 17. And it was that moment of truth where I went, damn, I'm a world champion.
John, when he walked, he had a little bop to him. And besides that, he had the booty out there. They nicknamed him Chocolate Chip.
Story time with Riggo.
All right, I am now joined by a former teammate of mine. My only regret, Joe, was that I only got to play, 4 years with you, I think, 81 through 85, 4 years. Yeah, and your total career was 13, 14?
81 and 93.
Do the math, Joe. 12, 14.
13.
13.
Baker's dozen.
The Baker's dozen, exactly. Anyway, you live in Charlotte now?
Correct.
Joe Jacoby, by the way. I don't know if I introduced my guest, which I don't really think Joe needs any introduction, actually. I think I used to refer to you as I-66. Because once you got out in front of me, I felt like I was sailing down Interstate 66.
Now, see, now I've changed too. I'm building tow lanes on myself, so I'm. But no, I did live down in Charlotte now, so back up in the area. I got a few things to do, some appearances and stuff. So it's great to be on with you and catch up and talk about old times.
What was I going to say? Obviously, you've got the Carolina Panthers in your backyard where you live, but still, having played for Washington, I got to believe you kind of keep an eye on what's going on up here. Plus, it's kind of hard not to because they seem to make in the press for whatever reason.
They do.
What do you think so far? What's going on?
I mean, watching this, really just not this season. It's been really the last 20 years.
Let me just. I hate to interrupt you, but do you get the games down there? Do you have?
No. I mean, we do if Carolina's not playing.
Okay.
So they still.
So this is the team that you would see if they're not.
Correct. But I've seen
if
few
they got
games.
a Monday night game or something like that.
Right, Thursday night game and stuff like that. I've
so
seen
you
them.
See a little bit here and there.
I've seen them a little bit here and there. What's the answer? I don't know. I mean, you look at them, you keep bringing in different players, drafting quarterbacks.
Well, we are in Washington, D.C., and this is the land of quarterback controversy. So, I don't think you can really say there's a controversy now, but, of course, my opinion is that I think that Haskins should be playing. It's hard to throw the towel in on a season this early, but, I mean, realistically, a 1-7 team making the playoffs, I guess it could happen, but that's almost like, the odds of filling out a bracket in March Madness and getting everything right. I mean, maybe not quite those odds, but it would be very difficult. So at what point do you actually transition into prepping guys and getting them to play some? And I'm certainly one in favor of giving Haskins, and you just, heard Larry and I talking about it as far as getting him the experience, because if he doesn't, when's he going to get the experience? Next year? So that means next year will be a slow
trial
year.
and error.
Yeah, I mean, the guys, I mean, it's kind of one of those deals, throw them in the deep end and see if they can swim.
Well,
I don't know. And you've seen it. It's happened in a lot of different places.
Right.
So,
I agree with on that part you're saying. Get him in there, get the experience. So he can see what the system's like, see what the National Football League's like. It's not like playing against Purdue or these other Big Ten teams. He's going to see a lot of different defenses. Might as well get it to him now. They're 1-7. Like you said, the odds of them are still, there's possibility to make the playoffs, but highly unlikely. Let's get him that experience so when he comes back next year, whoever the head coach is going to be, he's got a leg up on the season and getting ready to go.
And, Joe, I thank you very much for joining me today, and I look forward to down the road somewhere you're going to come in, and we'll sit down. We're going to do this again.
Look forward to it.
Tell us a little bit more about Joe Jacoby instead of the team. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Montana has cowboys. Florida has the sunshine. Texas has everything.
Hey, y'all.
Cali has the 405 backup.
Oh, come on.
Kansas has... does anyone know what Kansas has? But Virginia? Virginia has the print and play rolling jackpot, starting at $50K and rolling, where you can win instantly. And the best part? It's by the Virginia Lottery for Virginians. Odds of winning top prize are 1 in 240,000.
Time to tailgate. We have my Honda CRV with class-leading cargo space, so I can bring the grill. Cousin Bobby's Honda Pilot with seating for 8, and my brother's Honda Ridgeline loaded with fun features like in-bed speakers and an in-bed trunk. Nothing left to do now but sit back and wait for kickoff. Who wants a hot dog?
Get more this season with a great deal on a new Honda, perfect for tailgating. See your local Honda dealer today.
Locally owned Novec has competitive rates and some of the highest customer satisfaction ratings among electric utilities in Virginia. Novec members are receiving more than $4 million in cashback credits in December, and they enjoy the most reliable power in the region. Novec is growing its renewable energy supply, including more solar. Novec, power you can trust.
Is your heating system ready for colder weather? An annual heating system tune-up from ARS Rescue Rooter will help to make sure your system is working properly and efficiently to keep you warm and save money on your heating costs. Schedule your annual heating system tune-up today with ARS for only $29. That's right, only $29. But do it fast. This outstanding special ends soon. ARS Rescue Rooter, Heating and Cooling. Visit arsofmaryland.com. License number is 10647.
Call ARS and Rescue Rooter.
Hi, it's Larry Michael with the Redskins Park Update. The team back on the practice field on Wednesday, getting set for Sunday's matchup in Buffalo against the 5-2 Bills. You can hear Bill Callahan at the podium after the Wednesday practice. Also on Thursday and Friday, you can hear from Greg Minuski and offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. Redskins 1-7, headed to Buffalo this weekend looking for a victory. That's today's Redskins Park Update. I'm Larry Michael.